Today I'm gonna give you my thoughts on what I think you should do to fund your first house flip. There are a lot of ways you can fund a house flip, like there's countless, but there are a few that stick out in my mind as far as what the best route to go is. And before I tell you what I think the best route to go is, here's the one assumption that I'm gonna make about this scenario. The scenario is that the house needs work. It's pretty beat up. It's a messed up house. So if the house is kind of like in that condition, here's what I think you should do to fund that house flip. I think the most important thing when you're starting out is to get some type of experience behind you. And if you're just starting out, you're like, I'm not experienced. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying you should find someone to either partner with or have someone to look at the deal for you to make sure you're buying something that's actually a good deal. Because that's the hardest thing. When you're starting out, you don't really know what a good deal looks like unless you've identified what good deals are in different things. Like maybe you were couch flipping before, maybe you flip stuff on eBay. So you've learned to identify deals. Well, maybe if you haven't done that yet, you don't know how to do that. Here's what I think you should do. Here are a couple options, and they're pretty equal in my opinion. So in reality, here are two ways I think are the best ways to fund your very first house flip. Number one, and this is in no specific order, is to use hard money. And if you don't know what hard money is, it's basically a lender who is made to specifically lend for house flips. So they're made for flipping. And the reason why I'm recommending a hard money lender is this. Even though they will charge you a % interest rate for lending you money, and they'll likely charge you points, which are upfront cost based on the loan amount, it's a really good way to get a second set of eyes on the property. And here's what I mean. If you're brand new, let's say you think you find a good deal, and you're like, wow, let's offer this, the seller actually accepts your offer, and then you go to try to buy it. If you bring it to a hard money lender, they're gonna go through their underwriting process. They're gonna analyze the deal themselves, and they're gonna give you feedback whether or not they can lend on the deal. And that feedback is based off what they can actually buy the home for and if it actually is a good deal. So if it's not a good deal, they will tell you that. They'll tell you, hey, this one's a little bit too tight for us, we can't lend on it. And that might be a very good indicator for you to determine if you actually bought a good deal or a bad deal. The second best way that I think you could finance your first house flip is to partner up with an experienced investor and use private money. And the reason why I say private money, but specifically with an experienced investor, is because like I said at the very beginning, I think it's important for the first deal to bring some type of experience to the table so that you kind of have an idea of what you're doing. So let's say you find a deal, whether you locked it up or not, bring it to an experienced investor in your market and ask to partner on it with them. And you're likely gonna be doing some type of equity split, so some type of profit split, and that amount is completely negotiable and that's up to you two. But the reason why I recommend this is because like a hard money lender, that experienced investor is gonna be able to tell you, hey, this one's too tight, like this one's not a good deal at all, and they're gonna be more upfront with you than a hard money lender will be. If you bring it to an experienced investor, you can make money with their experience. So you can rely on their experience, on their contractors, on their actual money to bring to the deal. And you can learn so much from them because in all honesty, your first deal, it's not about how much money you make. It's how much you learn. Because even if you've lost money on your first deal, you can still be a millionaire. You can still make so much money in real estate because you've learned. Real estate in any business, honestly, is about learning from every past mistake. And in your first house flip, I recommend to do either one of those two things. Use hard money because they kind of provide a second set of eyes to look at it and see if it's a good deal. And the same concept goes with, you can also use a private money lender who is an experienced investor. So I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, I make a ton of other videos just like this, talking about real estate, money, and self-development. And I also just document my journey as a young real estate investor and entrepreneur. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you at the next one.